Oh, hey guys. Yeah, this is Whitney Suiters. I am at 13 Eagle Street at the toy store, Persnickety Toys in North Adams, Massachusetts. And this is a second episode of WHistory. And this is going to deal with some of the history of North Adams. And we're doing this because the city's been chosen to be one of the final 8 candidates for a group called the Small Business Revolution, and they came to our city today to interview people for some of their webisodes and to kind of get to know North Adams so that when they narrow it down to the final 4, they can figure out which cities are going to be the final 4 to compete for a $500,000 makeover. So we're going to go around today a little bit in North Adams and talk about the history of the city and why we really deserve something like this. So it's going to be a good episode. Learn a little bit about North Adams you may not have known, some interesting facts, and also learn about some of the businesses and what the small business revolution could mean for us and how they would help the city. So we're in North Adams, Massachusetts, which is nestled in the Hoosic Range, which means, in the native languages, it means the Devil's Mountain. So obviously there's some qualities to these mountains here that makes them say that. I don't know exactly what they mean, but that's just like a legendary thing. All right, as we drive in now, we're going to see the Eclipse Mill on the right. Down Route 2 in North Adams, Massachusetts, we just passed the Eclipse Mill, and that mill was built in the late 1800s during the industrial age, and they produced all kinds of things there using water, using the Hoosic River, which we're crossing right now. And we're coming into town here. We've got another mill over here. It's called the Windsor Mill, and that mill is another old mill that's been converted. The Eclipse Mill was converted into loft apartments by Eric Rudd, the famous artist that lives in North Adams now. Yeah, so we're going to be driving down to see Main Street, which the south side of Main Street was completely destroyed back in the early 1980s, late 70s due to urban renewal. They decided to knock down all the historic buildings and turned it into basically a big open area that they ended up building a Kmart plaza in, which was a great idea. Huge parking lot, and then a couple one-story, more modern buildings that we'll see in a second as we come around to Main Street here. This is the Rotary bringing Church Street together with Main Street. Massachusetts is famous for rotaries. We're the steeple city, and we'll see there's churches pretty much everywhere, even though they did tear one of them down recently. Yeah, so this is our Main Street. You'll notice on the south side there's no buildings. However, on the north side you see the old 5-6 story buildings there that are still there from the original city. So over to the left you'll see just a couple small little buildings, and that's it, and a little plaza. That's where the old Kmart used to be. And yeah, they tore down half the city here, which was really sad back in the day. So at this point in the modern history, if we look towards the late 80s into the early 90s, there was also an abandoned mill from the Sprague Electric Company that had been abandoned in the mid to late 80s as their business went south. And what's happened now is, from then on, a series of events happened that a former Williams College student had been driving through and saw the old mill and thought it would make a great modern art museum or contemporary art museum. So in the early 90s, when I first moved up here in 94, we had just started the process through our mayor, John Barrett, to facilitate turning the old mill, the 13-acre mill located in the downtown here, into a contemporary art museum. So from 1994 to 1999, they did all the legwork, they got all the money together, and they built Mass Mocha out of the remains of the Sprague mill. You'll see the Mass Mocha sign up on top of the old mill buildings here, and we'll see that it's now a thriving museum that brings in over 150,000 patrons to see their collections of contemporary art and installations. They also have the Welcome Solid Sound Music Festival, and then on top of that they have Fresh Grass, which is a bluegrass music festival each year. We're now in the courtyard of Mass Mocha. If we look over to the right, we're going to see the upside down trees, which is their kind of hallmark, trademark little installation where they plant these trees, they put them upside down, they let them live their lives, and then they pull them out and they plant them somewhere else. So maybe we can go see where they plant them now. But here we have the history of North Adams in these old mill buildings that has been kind of repurposed into an art museum, so the life of all these buildings could be saved. It's a cool little alleyway down here leading into the back. They have all kinds of cool events, and that's where the outdoor concerts are, where they can fit maybe 10,000 people. We've had everyone from Ani DeFranco, Willie Nelson, and other great performing acts come through here over the years. If we look straight ahead, we can see Route 2 going through the city on the bridge there, which kind of bisects the city and makes it a little difficult for walking, which we'll get into in a minute. But yeah, that's Mocha. So we have this great asset to the community here, but part of the problem is that the people they do draw here don't necessarily make it downtown, which is straight ahead over here. You can see Eagle Street. Alright, as we drive down here, we're going to see one business that really caught the eye of the small business revolution people. Is called Brouhaha Cafe. And Brouhaha is a great little cafe right here on the corner, right next to Mocha. As we hit Main Street here, we'll see that this is very close to Mocha, so they do get a lot of people coming over here. And again, the job is to get them to see the whole city and all of the shops on all the streets. So that was Brouhaha. We got the Holiday Inn up here, which was built probably, well, when I moved here in 94, it was originally another name of just a family-owned inn, but it had kind of fallen into disrepair, so probably around 1994 it was refurbished and turned into a Holiday Inn, which has been bought and sold several times. The new owners have done a great job, though. They have a good restaurant, Richmond Grill. As we come up Main Street now, we're going to talk about a couple businesses here. We have probably the biggest one on this side of the street is the Hub, and the Hub is a restaurant. They have good food, and there's been, we have the Berkshire Emporium. That's another great business. Ramunto's Pizza just opened. We have a place called the Maker's Mill. Eagle Street Music is a small family-owned music store. And then here we are back to Eagle Street, so we can see there's a few different businesses there. Again, straight ahead we see the churches at the top of the hill. There's 4 nice churches right here, and then the library, which was originally the mansion for the mayor. So that would have been the mayor's house, historically speaking, and now it is the library. And out of the churches you see now, only 2 of them actually have congregations of worshipers. The one at the top of the hill, the college is now involved in somehow. It's been abandoned for a while. And the darker colored one on the left, actually Eric Rowe, the artist, had bought that and turned it into a place where he has his art installations inside the church as well. And there's a 5th church behind over there, Summer Street Church, that he also bought. So artists have come in and bought old landmarks and turned them into repurposed art museums and whatnot. So, alright, so now we're coming around the backside of Eagle Street. Eric Rudd also bought the Flatiron Building, which is right here. You can turn it into condominiums with light assorted retail below. So he's done a lot to save some of the historic structures on this town. So now we're coming into like the backside of Main Street, which is kind of cool. We have a big parking lot here that over the years has really changed a lot. This used to be called Summer Street, and there were buildings on either side. Same thing, they tore a lot of them down. Here's an example of some art. It's a mural that was done probably about 5 years ago by a Spanish artist. My wife loves that one. And now we're on the back side of Main Street. You can see the back side of the buildings. And up here we have another historic building that has been converted into some shops and apartments above that are kind of high-end, nice places. Another shop that actually the Small Business Revolution has been talking about is Barking Cat, which is our kind of pet store for buying food and accessories for your pets. And then Public Eat and Drink is a really, really good restaurant that has been packed for a couple years now. You can't get in there to eat, which is a good thing. Yeah, so basically we have Mocha over there. Again, now we can see Mocha from another angle and see that this bridge and the highway kind of blocks it from this part of town. So we're going to have to figure out how to overcome some of these hurdles to make this town walkable for the people, the tourists who come in, and also make it so people know there's something going on over here on the other side of town.